Hey, Zealand, do you know anything about FM21? No. Oh, I get it. You just can't say anything. Oh, yeah. No. Are you lying? No. So what's gonna be in the game? I don't know. Unbelievable. He obviously knows. I don't know. This guy right here. Hey, what's up? Welcome to another video. My name is Zealand, and today we're going to be talking about something that I've been getting asked on stream a lot. If you want to join the cadre of people asking me these questions on stream, please check out the Twitch link in the description, even if you can't make that. I'm about a week behind on it at the moment, but I have a live channel as well that's down there. You can watch back the streams in their entirety because we've managed to make them completely copyright free. Anyways, I'm wearing a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey today. If you don't know about the NHL or do not care, that's fine. But my hometown team has a chance to win the championship tonight. And I'm filming this video. The video comes out on the night that would be the final game. So hopefully we just win it tonight. And then when you're watching this video, I will still be celebrating. You may have heard that Football Manager 21 is coming out. I have no idea who would have told you that. It was me. Football Manager will be coming out on the 24th, which means the beta is probably going to be available by November 12th. So we are about a month and a half away from the biggest day of my life. That notwithstanding, it's coming out on console and all that other fun stuff. I have compiled a well thought out list of things I would like to see changed going into Football Manager 21. And I have not answered this question on stream, but I have used it as a launching pad to form 5 great ideas, and they're all across the board, from tactical stuff to match engine stuff to stuff I just think is cool. I don't think I'm cool. That could be misinterpreted. So here we go. Number 1, the illogical marking on breaks needs to be fixed. That wasn't a very short title. I'm sorry, Reese. Thank you for editing anyways. You're so beautiful. Reese's stuff is down in the description too. I probably don't say that enough, but Reese is awesome. He edits my videos live on Twitch. It's fascinating stuff because I didn't know I did it either. The illogical marking on breaks has bothered me since Football Manager 20 came out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will get these tendencies when somebody's on a break and maybe your left back is the last defender. The left back is going to essentially just defend the left side of the field instead of making the incredibly logical move to go actually defend the only person with the ball. This is a new thing in FM20, and the reason it's a new thing is actually a very good reason. Football Manager sat down, well, SI and Miles and you know the cast, they sat down and rewrote the entire marking engine or system or code. I pretend I know how it works. They rewrote the entirety of whatever it is that deals with marking, because up until Football Manager 20, there was always a tactic that would break the game. There is no longer a tactic that can break the game, according to all the great minds in tactics, and I am not one of them yet. I'm studying in a Tibetan monastery. Not important. Of all of the great tactical minds, there is no tactic that can actually break the game and you can win 8-0 against any team in the world all the time. That's great. The side effect of the rewritten marking engine is this just horrifically illogical marking that you get on breaks. I'm not talking about, oh, this guy was being poor at marking. I'm talking about last defender, last person with the ball, and that defender will defend a space instead of defending the guy with the ball. Now, I'm willing to make that trade in order to have no tactics that will break the game and no temptation to use them and accusations flying all over the place. Well, they achieve this by using this tactic. No, they just need to fix it going forward. And I don't know if I've seen anything where they acknowledge that it was a huge issue. And it really is a huge issue. It's the only indefensibly bad marking you get in the game. Everything else you can just say, well, he's just a bad defender. It's Van Dyke. His marking's not 20, man. You can't defend this lack of logic. The second feature I would love to see included is a completely aesthetic feature that I think will help take Football Manager to the next level, and that is the addition of dribble moves to the game. If you were watching the Streamer Showdown last weekend, I actually had a player on my team do a bicycle kick here, just like this, and just bopped it across. Bicycle kick cross. That's brilliant. That's the type of animation. If you played Football Manager long enough, you probably see somebody hit the Rabona cross. You've maybe even seen a bicycle kick goal. You see volleys. You see all different types of shooting in passing skill plays, which you never see, or dribble moves. The only dribble move in Football Manager is to magically teleport from one side of one dude to the other. And that, to me, is a problem because it's the last uncharted frontier. Now, the players are anatomically correct in Football Manager 20. This is the first edition, believe it or not, fun fact, that the players are anatomically correct in the game. So I know that they can do the skill moves with the anatomy. I would love to see them throw in some step overs, maybe one of the, like a Ronaldo chop to get open. Throw in 3 or 4. They're going to be much more common than the fancy passes and the fancy shots. So you'll impress the largest amount of people immediately with how much the match engine is continuing to improve aesthetically. Now, this is just, it's completely aesthetic, but it's awesome. Our third plan idea thing, situational set pieces. I actually have a couple of ideas wrapped into this one. The first one is to set up a set piece as at this point in the game with this score, this is what set piece is going to happen. I know that this feature is in game plan, but nobody uses game plan. If you could put it in the set piece pane so that it is just a one tick, 2 tick option to switch over to a different set piece routine. Maybe you're behind and all of a sudden, instead of having 2 guys back for a corner, you only want to have 1 guy back, put another person up. So the moment you go down 1-0, that just takes effect. That'd be wonderful. Or your goalkeeper automatically goes up for corners. This is a larger picture thing for me. It's why I said situational set pieces, is that I change my tactic all the time. I get made fun of for changing my tactic so often. It's really taking its toll. Just kidding. I change my tactic all the time. And the issue with changing your tactic for set pieces is that it just scrambles everybody up sometimes. So if I could have a depth chart at each position on a set piece, you don't have to have one, just for the me's of the world that want to just go in at the beginning of the season, set the whole freaking thing up and not pay attention to it anymore, but want it to be right the whole time. So that when I take a guy who normally plays center back and put him at defensive midfielder, he's still attacking the near post on corners because he's really good in the air. You just have a depth chart there, and they already have this in the game for the takers. You have a depth chart. Just make that for the positions you set up so that you can align certain players to always be in certain positions, no matter where they are on the field. You always get the tallest people in the spots they need to be in. So before every match, you shouldn't theoretically, nobody does this, actually go in and maximize the goal scoring potential of your set pieces based off who exactly is starting in whichever position that day. It's an easy fix. I'm surprised they haven't introduced it already. This is the next frontier in set pieces, and then past that, adding exact passing combinations. But I'm not going to be so optimistic to put that on this list, but it still would be wonderful. Make short corners great again. The fourth piece is another aesthetic one. I limited myself to 2 aesthetic pieces, so number 5 isn't going to be an aesthetic piece. The fourth idea I had is add some production value to the game. Why do you play Football Manager? Don't say it to your computer. You might even be in a public place wearing headphones. Don't say it out loud. We're trying to be cool here. You play Football Manager for the emotion. You play video games to beat people, and for the emotion, the excitement of winning, of success. Adding production value to the match day experience would be fantastic. I'm talking camera behind the players when they're walking out of the tunnel. The graphics are obviously not anywhere near FIFA's. That's fine. It's a much better game. You don't need brilliant graphics. Put a camera behind the players in the tunnel. Have a close-up of the coaches shaking hands. If you are starting a kid for the first time, make that conversation in person. You already have an engine, a physics engine that helps run the match on the field itself. Just apply that to a training ground. Training ground in the background. You're telling this kid he's going to start for the first time. You're talking to a player. It's not just a face up in the corner and a bunch of text. And I know people are like, oh, that Football Manager is all about spreadsheets. Damn it. If you can make the spreadsheets more engaging, it makes the game more fun. When you go to a penalty shootout, automatically put the camera in director mode, put the game on full match so you see the walk-ups. Most people don't know that if you leave the game on extended highlights, it skips the walk-ups. Penalty shootouts done like that. If it automatically flips to full game, you feel the drama and the weight, and it times out like it does in real life. Adding those sorts of things where after a goal is scored, let's make the director mode like cool, zoomed in. Georgios, the guy that edits our live sports videos, the World Cup one, the Asian Cup one, I believe, the ones we have up, the Euros, those live sports videos, he zooms in on the play and it helps you get more engaged in the game. SI, take note of Georgios, who's the editor for the channel. He just does the live videos, but now you know who he is. If you want to add broadcasters to it, that's my job. I can fake an English accent. I have evidence. Oh my word! I know you wouldn't want the American accent on it. I'll do the broadcasting voices for you. Add the production value into the game, and what makes Football Manager so brilliant, which is building a story for yourself, gets even better. The last, for me, fix the development center. You have to fix the development center because after the first 2 months, I don't think I've opened it. There's nothing in the development center that I can't find other ways, that I haven't been finding other ways for years. This is more of a veteran's complaint, because you find a way to play the game before the developmental center exists, then you just really don't need it. It does a better job of keeping track of loan reports on players, but other than that, what purpose is the development center actually serving? I do love the idea of having a separate panel for the development center because it is a key pillar of the game, the ability to develop your young players and bring them through, and that's what adds to the story. And holla freaking Luya, and here we are. You just need to actually do something with it. These are a few of the ideas I have to make the developmental center more viable. I didn't say the word. How many times have I not said developmental center? Development center is what it's called. I hate words. You could have more personal opinions from the coaches on the players in the developmental center. I know they already exist in those little blurbs, but I'm talking the coach grabs you. You get a weekly report. They come to you. They're like, hey, come check out the development center. I've filed my latest reports on the development of these people. If they got better at dribbling, say, hey, he learned a new dribble move, or he got more confident. You get those types of in-depth reports from the coaching staff members of your youth teams, from your head of youth development, because in real life, that is what the head of youth development doing. The other recommendation I have is that a lot of this is tied to the potential, which I feel, and there's going to be backlash to this, just personally, I feel the potential in the stars is a little too obvious. Obviously, there's an exact potential that's assigned to a player at the beginning of a game. It's a 1 out of 200. If it's a player under 21 years of age, that potential falls in a range. When you start the save, they just land somewhere in that range, like 30. So that's why sometimes Sebastiano Esposito's over here, and then sometimes he's over there, right? Is because of that range. The stars are a representation of that. I think the way Football Manager is set up right now, players like Robert Lewandowski can't properly have their story told. So if you can tie the developmental center into the development center, if you can tie the development center into a more fluctuating potential, like depending on what the coaches are saying, it's like, hey, this guy might be very good, or I don't know if this guy has it, but you keep saying he's getting better in training and you overrule him and then you're right, and that'd be cool. Because Lewandowski was cut by Legia Warsaw because they didn't think he was going to be good enough. They were very obviously wrong. And I feel like the development center is the vehicle you can use to help tell those stories through more abstract interaction, to try and discern a range of potential and less exactness. There's a lot they can do with youth development, but that's almost a stylistic choice for them. But that's it. Those are my 5 ideas for how to improve in Football Manager 21. I hope I didn't say Football Manager 20 at any point in this video. I would be surprised if I didn't, but Football Manager 21 is a month and a half away, and those are the 5 things that I hope are added to it. I could have made this list much longer, but we're out of time. At least out of the time that you would watch. If you want to watch me for longer, go to the Twitch stream.